Welcome everyone to Red Arrows Racing League on a Monday night. I'm MR10 and we are here in the beautiful streets of Monaco today to follow up a few very dramatic championship changing races. We come to the streets of Monaco, which is of course famous for its beautiful landscape, its rich scenery, high clientele, and of course it will be full of drama, I'm sure, with the tight streets making online racing nice and fun. Of course, we do normally start at 8 o'clock, so we are running a bit late tonight, but we will, as soon as we get the last few people in, ready up and go racing here. Heads up, as you've heard in the past, championship standings at the minute, we have a 2-horse race at this stage of the championship, but of course things can change quite drastically, as we saw last race where Jay had a very handsome lead after playing his wild card, got a DNF in Miami, and then had to sit back and watch as Aeon Blades took the victory with his wild card. And he actually got, last week, 3 of the top 4 had all played their wild card. So massive point swing there, which means Jay and Aeon Blades are extremely close to the top of the championship now. And of course, we have a few of our regular people back. Butler had a very successful race last time out, as did Casper, who are both here tonight. Hopefully a return to form for Jay, tried to avenge the championship he unfairly lost, in his opinion, last year on that last race to Shadow Realms, who I believe is not here tonight so far, because we have a reserve in T. Cali in that Ferrari, so deputising for Shadow Realms, who's normally in the Ferrari with Mr. Eric. I look after my tyres all entire race, Pinto. Again, this is his kind of race, something that's technical, and those tyres will last a long time if you can make them. So track position, all important. So if he can get the early pit stop or possibly go very late, then this strategy could play into hands. Of course, we always know strategy is important in these online races, and it's no different around Monaco, where overtaking is especially hard. But we will see what the boys can come up with today. So we're hoping for pretty much a full grid. We're at 16 at the minute, so just waiting on a few last ones, and then we will go into our short qualifying, and we'll see who can stick it on pole in the Monaco Grand Prix. Let us know in the comments if you're here, who you're supporting, who you think is going to do well tonight, as always. And as the race and other things develop, we will try and get people involved. Of course, if they're racing, we won't be getting them into the party chat. Final races and then post race, or if there's a DNF in the race, we can see what we can do. Because I am flying solo tonight, unfortunately, co-commentators today, and rather than pull Liam out of another race, we've let him come out of retirement and go back into his beloved seat there in the Aston Martin. So just waiting for a few more, I think, and then it will be a short qualifying before 39. Very tight, very dramatic laps around the streets of Monaco. And I'm sure anyone that's ever played an F1 game knows how much concentration this race takes. Every single corner needs your full respect, braking, perfection to avoid those front wing being damaged. Chrissy just joined us there in the Haas. That puts us at 18. So I think shortly we will be going racing. As always, we will see what tonight's drama brings. So welcome to those that are just joining us now. We are just waiting for qualifying to get underway in the Red Hours Racing League. Again, apologies for last week. Shortage of drivers meant we had to miss a week. So Abu Dhabi is now being put on at the end of the season, which always leads to a lovely, dramatic, drama-free, no cheating involved season finale for us, based on the real facts. So we will be doing that at the end of the season. And what we are doing this is technically round 7 after the delay last week. So after a little break ourselves, just like in real life, we are back racing the streets of Monaco. And we will be doing the short qualifying. They put 5 laps there because there's penalties to be put on, I believe. So we will be doing that, and it will be a custom grid on another race just to make sure that penalties are applied fairly and correctly. And then we will be going racing for 29 laps, I think. And again, those that just joined us, if you're new to F1, pardon me, you know that Monaco, famous for its tight corners, lack of overtaking, and it's no different online. Very tight, very technical, and any slight error or misjudgment means you're probably going to be going into those pits to change that front wing. So we are just waiting for the last few, and then we'll be qualifying. Okay, so as you can see, people readying up now. So qualifying is about to get underway, and we are going to see who is going to show. Yeah, Jay, I've just said that, mate. Yeah, we know it's a short race because we do have penalties to apply. But yeah, going racing. Let's see who can stick it on the front row. Again, it's a tough place to get positions. And if you do get that pole position, it does make for a very easier first corner. But of course, being stuck in that second or third row can make it all the difference. That first corner gets extremely tight. A very short run down to the first corner. And of course, cutting the corner will get you penalties, or at least a warning for track limits. And hopefully making no contact with other cars is the key to getting around this course safely. So here we go. It is dry, thank God. Mr. Pinto trying to hint at how much fun a wet Monaco would be after experiencing wet races in the past, which caused absolute carnage. So it is dry qualifying. Let's see who jumps to the track first. And that is a McLaren coming out first. Is it Spider or is it Supercargo? It is Spider that's going to set the start. Let's see how he gets around his outlap. And just behind him, I think we've got an Alfa Romeo, so I assume that'll be Butler. And let's see what sort of pace. Of course, this track will evolve throughout the remaining 17 minutes of qualifying. It does get grippier, it does get warmer, and it does lead for those faster laps towards the end. But again, with mistakes so easy to make around here, you don't really want to leave it late to do your runs. It is all about getting that time on the board and then possibly pushing later on. So get your banker lap in and then see what happens here. Got plenty of drivers coming out on track in a minute. And I think what we are going to do, we'll stick with Spider because he is going to be setting the pace. So we'll stick with him on his first lap and see what he can do around this famous venue. And we will well right on board with him so we can see just what this course can do. So across the line. Is he going to get into 8th? No, drops it down 2nd. Nice rotation there. Hopefully not getting blocked by the car coming out of the pits there. It doesn't. Nice and clean. Up the hill now. Nice and wide there. Hits the apex perfectly in 4th. Going to drop it down to 2nd place here. No, he went to 3rd gear. Misses the bump on the left there. And then the first of those hairpins. Nice rotation there. Can he keep it tight to the apex here? Slowest corner here. Drops its first a bit wide on the exit there, and then it's all about how much curb you take here without touching the exit. So he's gone up the gear through the corner there, probably staying 2nd, but he's flooring it here now as he makes his way under the tunnel. Of course, bright light at the end here, lovely views of the harbour there into the swimming pool section. One of the hardest corners to get right, and as you see there, too much curb there, and he's lost it. Front wing goes, and we can see there just how easy it is to lose and make a mistake on this course. So that will be Spidey. I assume he'll abandon that lap. Just a bit too eager on the throttle there coming out of the swimming pool. And I assume he is going to dive into the pits. He is. So let's see who's behind him setting lap times. And we got a collision there with Liam. Let's see if we can jump to that. Liam up top. Butler's gone fastest at the minute. We've got a car spun there. That's the other Aston. So that's Casper that's spun going into the tunnel. Manages to get going again. Hopefully get out of the way of that big Calgon that's coming through and round him. Calgon is on an outlap though. So let's see. Gat's made a collision as well. Another 5-place penalty. And we're seeing already how tight this track could be. This is qualifying and we're having collisions. Let's see what Liam could do here. He's fastest in Sector 2. Can he get past Butler, who's the only one to set a time so far? Josh goes through with the 1:15, and Liam goes into pole position. 1:12.6. Nearly a second up on Butler, who's invalidated this lap. So I assume he is on his way into the pits. But we are seeing Gat already DNF there as well, or retired. And we're already seeing how crazy this race is going to be. As Always Grinding goes with a 1:16 there. Jay's back in the pits after doing an outlap as well. Butler back in the pits. So we'll see how Mr. Pinto does here. He's on his flying lap here. Extremely heavy on the brakes there. And he's trying to get around the Red Bull there. He gets around him, no contact made. And then straight to the wall. And that's a DNF for Pinto there. And we're starting to see just how chaotic this race can be. As Hugs back into the pits he goes. And the AlphaTauri here. And there's the Aston of Liam. Absolute chaos on the last but one corner there. Hopefully Pinto's car will move now because Always Grinding is flying here. He's got a purple Sector 2 at the minute. And we can see a bit wide there, but manages to hold on to it. Can he hit the apex? He's perfect here. He does now floor it to the finish line. What time can Always Grinding do here? He's going to put it in a 1:12.3. Goes pole. Fantastic lap by Always Grinding, who will have a grid penalty in the race. But and straight behind him there, Aeon Blades. After that amazing Miami wildcard with a 1:12.5.89 for 1,000ths of a second quicker than Always Grinding and takes provisional pole at the minute. But 12 minutes left. Still plenty of racing to do. We've lost Pinto without a time. We've lost Gap without a time so far as well. Jay, I think he's going to be sitting in the pits. I think I know what tactic he is playing here. And we'll go back on board with Spider, who was having a really good flying lap until that mistake at swimming pool cost him. And he lost his front wing. So he's back out now. And let's see what he can do on this flying lap. It's a purple Sector 1. Showing great pace on that first flying lap as well. Nice rotation there. Sticks it. Can he just about a bit wide? How much curve does he take here? Perfect. Now into that rotation through the tunnel. Nice and straight. Now let's see how we can do swimming pool this time after last time out. Losing on the exit swimming pool. Better. Keeps it rotating this time. And now into the last sector, which seems the easiest on paper, but again, such high speeds, it's so easy to lose it. But purple Sector 2, Spider, oh, he's invalidated. Just too much curb there, and it was judged to be a corner cut. I think it was just about right on that. Texago goes 7th with a 113.5. Let's see what Casper does on his flying lap here now. Car's getting out of his way quite rightly. He's got a bit of traffic ahead though, hopefully. Doesn't interfere with his lap too much. Again, these cars in front, even if they're on in laps or out laps, it's so hard to get out of the way because it's such a narrow track. But Casper doesn't seem to be affected too much. There's one of the cars out the way, which I assume means the car in front. No, it does get out of the way, so Casper can fly now into the swimming pool. Bit late on the brakes. That's the brake. Goes wide coming out of it. Manages to hold it just about right there. And now that fast sector. Can he ride the curbs? Don't take too much curb on this one because it will invalidate. Missed the wall on the way out. Nice rotation there into the hairpin before going through the tight right. Opens the DRS. Foot down to the line. What can Casper do here? It is a 1:13.7. Puts in P9. Nice lap. So what is Spider doing now? Spider's out. We've lost Spider after 2. Oh, Hugs hits the wall there, and it was a purple sector 2 by Hugs there. He's abandoning the lap as well, invalidated there. So close to being a good lap there by Hugs, but I assume he's going to dive in the pits now. No, he's going for it. Only 8% battery, doesn't seem very sensible. I think he's just trying to get a lap time on the board. But he's invalidated, so he's going to have to go again with, I assume, a bit of a damaged front wing here. Not sure why he didn't dive into the pits there. Got plenty of time to keep going, but it is the way it is. Liam, he's a second down here, cuts that corner. He's just trying to keep the battery in the tyres, I think, here. What have we got here with ZT Slate? He's invalidated as well. Lando is in the pits. Lumi, let's see what he does through the swimming pool section. Oh, nearly loses it on the exit just like Spider did in his first flying lap. Misses the wall on the exit there again. It's all well and good trying to put the speed in, but you've got to make sure you have a car at the end of the race and touches the wall on the outside there. He's going to keep going though. He's not invalidated the lap. Good rotation there. Can he keep it straight through this final section? Does. Opens the DRS. Foot down to the line. It is going to be a P5 as X Oliver goes first with a 1:12.5. Liam just slightly down through the first sector on his second flying lap here. See how he does through swimming pool. Nice and tight through swimming pool. Nice and tidy there. Misses the curb. He's a tenth and a half up, so this is going to be close to Oliver's time if he can keep it going through this final section. Nice and lovely tight through the apex there. Nice exit on the final corner. Foot down. Is Ant going to take pole again? He is. A 1:12.1. Fantastic flying lap there. And our championship contender, Aeon Blades, back on pole. Always grinding now. He's done a purple sector 1 in reply to those two going faster than him. What can grinding do now? So many cars out on track. It's hard to keep track of them all. He's got Hugs in front of him, hopefully. Not impeding him here. He just gets out of the way. See if that did affect Always Grinding, though. Let's see, his sector 2 time comes up. He's 3/10 up here. Absolutely flying. Grinding's going close to Aeon Blades here if he continues this. He's invalidated. Invalidated the lap. As we've seen so many people do, and abandons the lap completely into the pits. Now Liam coming through the final sector. Hugs jumps into the pits. He has set a time on that 1:34 after going again on that broken wing. And let's see what Liam can do. P4 at the minute. for the newly unretired driver. He's a tenth down on his time at the minute. As we get to the business end now of this qualifying. Oh, he's testing the track limits there, Liam. He's dropped down to P5 because Butler's gone P3 again now. But Liam is quickest in Sector 2. He is half a second up on his previous time. No invalidation there. If he can finish this lap off, this is going to be close to pole position for the man who had retired. Is out of retirement now, and is he going to stick it on pole on his race back? He's a P3, just going a bit slow at that final sector. Let himself down. And it's a P3 for Liam. So most cars looking to get out of the pits again and do one final run. Let's see, we've still got Jay still in the pits. Lano is out now, but he's still not set a time. As Pinto, Spider and Gat all DNF before setting a time. So at the minute, we will see. What can Lano do? He's shown great pace now and again. Just the consistency lacking this season. Stopping scoring some big points. But this kind of track, we've all seen anything can happen with the amount of safety cars, incidents, etc. DNFs are expected. And let's see what Lanod can do as he goes onto the board with the time. Where's it going to put him? It is a 1:14.1 and puts him down in P11. So most cars that are going to do another lap back out on track. Ant's going to put one in. He's going to be one of the first to put his final flying lap in, it appears. Oliver's on a flying lap. Out lap, sorry. Liam so far in the pits. Butler in the pits. Always grinding. Out on the pits now as well. And on to his flying lap. It's a purple sector 1. 2.5 tenths up for always grinding here. And we did say early on this track would get faster and faster as the temperatures came into it. And towards the end of this session, you didn't want to leave it too late to put a time in. But you don't. Oh, 1:11.8 by Ant. That's going to be something to beat. Grinding's going to try his best here now. Oliver's still on his out lap. So Grinding's the one to watch at the minute. He's invalidated. He's invalidated now. Can he charge that battery up and get back round and do another flying lap if he chooses to? And 2 tenths up again. No, sorry, 2 seconds down. Time took a while to catch up there. But Oliver now on his flying lap. What can he do to respond to Ant being the first one? Going into those 1:11s. Track conditions are the best they will be now. Illuminated 1:11.2. Incredible by the Haas there. That's the one to beat. I don't know if anyone's got the pace there because Oliver was down in Sector 1. Always grinding is going again. Texago's got a 5-place grid penalty there. These are all going to be applied. Jay is not going to set a time. Grinding's 8 tenths down, so he's not setting another lap. Let's see. Ant has recharged that battery quite a bit there. Lanod is out of the session. Texago out of the session as well. They're done. Jay's not going to set a lap time. he's going to start from the back and watch the chaos unfold in front of him and play the long game here. I assume he's going to start on the hard tyres and go along with safety cars and get track position that way and then be fast at the end. I assume as, let's see what Aeon Blades does. He's 3/10 down here. Don't think he's going to be able to respond to that Ilumi lap. Oliver now, just in time. 30 seconds left in the session. What can he do? Lumi's back in the pits. He's done. He's happy with the time. Not surprised with that time. Oliver, a 10th down. His battery running low as well. I don't think he's going to be able to go any faster here. Is Liam going to get round in time? He's got 15 seconds. I think he's just about going to beat the time here. So Liam's still going to have time to set. Slavy retired for session. He's done. Chrissy in P5. What can he do? He's 7 tenths down. He's done. Liam, 4.5 tenths up. Fastest in sector 1. Can Liam shock the world on his return? He's P7 at the minute. Butler's gone P3. Slavy P4. Oliver's dropped down to P5. Chrissy P6. Always grinding as well. He's invalidated his lap, so he's done. Liam is up in sector 2 as well. Liam here at least looking to get near those front rows. Whether he can find the incredible time that Illumi has put on. He's not invalidated there. It was on the track limits to the extreme here. Can he send it through the final sector? He does. Keeps it nice and straight. DRS open. Floor the pedal. And it's P3 for Liam on his return there with a 112 flat. Incredible lap. See if anyone else is threatening. Casper goes P9. And I think, ladies and gentlemen, that is it for qualifying. Wow. Whew. Let's take a breath there. Lumi, incredible pace. Jay, one of the championship contenders, taking the option to stay in the pits, not set a time, start at the back and see what chaos unfolds in front of him there. Always grinding. P8, showing great pace, but he will, of course, incur the penalty after the incident with Jay in Miami. Unfortunately, ended Jay's race. So, we will take a short break here, guys, because they will be doing a custom grid with the penalties from that session and also the penalties that applied from previous races. And then, but what I can confirm is Ilumi will be starting on pole position and Aeon Blades, after his wildcard Miami win, will be starting P2. What a front row. And then Liam Butler behind him. Wow. We're in for some good racing tonight, ladies and gentlemen, as you know. Ladies and gentlemen, thank God we are doing another lobby because we otherwise would be doing a wet Monaco race. Now, whether the guys actually stick to this and say it was wet, so therefore we have to do a wet race, I hope not. Otherwise, this could be a very, very chaotic race. But you will see chaos here because the guys do like to make a meal of it when they retire from the session here. So expect chaos as everyone leaves the session, and then we go into a new session where penalties will be applied. There come the DNFs. And Aaron Blaze doing it in style, turning around, coming back down the hill. Somehow managed to not DNF himself there. There we go. Everyone's dead. And there's a McLaren in the back of the garage there, apparently. That is doing it in style. So we'll do a custom lobby now, custom grid to get set up for the main event. And then it will be all systems go. And hopefully less chaotic than that start we just saw there. But don't bank on it, ladies and gentlemen. Do not bank on it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are readying up now for the main event. So grid penalties have been applied, and we will go racing 39 laps around the streets of Monaco for the Red Arrows Racing League. Expect drama, expect some bumps and grinds. I think this will be more than an R. Kelly show tonight, but just as controversial, maybe just about as illegal as well. So hopefully people will keep it clean, but as always, things will happen, and the verbal brown stuff will hit the fan at some stage. So tactics, strategies will come into play. And I think we've seen that with Jay. Not set a time in qualifying. And starting from the back, of course, Pinto, Gat, and a few others with DNFs in qualifying. But it will be Lumi, leading the way into that first corner, followed by Aeon Blades, hoping to go back-to-back victories here, and we'll try and keep it clean through this first lap, get as many cars through safely and with few incidents as possible, so we can get some nice, good racing around the streets of Monaco. Hard to overtake, not impossible, especially online racing, different to IRL. A bit more gung-ho, a bit less care, much less cost when they are replacing front wings, but just as much drama. And we hope to bring you another good show here in the Red Arrows Racing League tonight. So just waiting for Butler's connection to kick in, and then we'll be going on to our formation lap. Luckily, it is dry, the race. After that previous lobby was a wet race, it's gone dry. So that does help the drama a little bit, as we all remember the lovely soggy conditions we had in Baku, which caused absolute carnage. So Pinto, your wish has not been fulfilled this time. Just waiting for people's connections to kick in, I think. And then we will be going on to the formation lap. Luckily, I think the connection is going to be on time here, so we'll start the formation lap round about now. We'll sort out, have a look what people's tyres are. Here we go with the formation lap. So, let's see. Most starting on the mediums, as you can see there. Slay, Hugs, and Jay going onto the soft. So Jay, we thought maybe going long. Pinto, of course, going onto his standard hard tyres that he'll probably see till about lap 38, if we know him as we think we do. But Ilumi leads him round the chicanes, and he will be lining up in P1. There's the predicted strategies. One stop here, medium to hard, about lap 17. Or those two stops. Those on the softs, but I suspect those on the softs, maybe expecting an early safety car. Get rid of them, get onto the hards, and then possibly try and take the hards to the end. And Illumi, not sure what he's doing there. Trying to show off for the crowds in the swimming pool section. That won't go down very well with his fellow drivers who are trying to warm their tyres up behind. You can see, I think it's Spidey and Gat really far back here. Need to get their foot down as well. So Lumi will be sat on that front row for quite a while here, with those tyres cooling down every second that he's stationary as the grid starts to form up now. There you go, the inside line. It's always going to be tight through that first corner, so the inside does give you the advantage. It's such a short rundown though, it's all about the start here. There's the back of the grid is now formed up, and we are ready to go racing in the streets of Monaco. The lights go up. It's 5 lights. Lights out. Butler has jump start. He's already gone. He did hold back, but he'd already gone there. So Butler's got a drive-through penalty. Liam's made the jump here. Ant's gone down to P3. And Lumi's got away nice and clean here. Chaos further back. Hopefully not too much. It seems that everyone's got through fairly clean here. Gat at the back. Jay's jumped up to P16. All quite well behaved so far. Liam's the one that made the jump at the start there. Butler did the drive-through penalty. Liam's made the start. He's gone up to P2, got a header Ant in that first corner. And so far, so good. We do have a yellow flag now. That's Hugs going very slow. Is he going to let Gat round the outside? Hugs fighting with his teammate, but Gat goes through. Hopefully, Hugs got no damage there. That was our first yellow flag to get down to the swimming pool section. Hopefully, no one missing the break-ins. Chrissy makes a move, tries to make a move on Oliver there. He's got Casper right behind him as well. But everyone through the swimming pool section, nice and clean. Impressive first lap from all the drivers here. Very good racing as Lumi. Bit wide there, but manages to keep it straight. And as the end of the first lap goes, it's Lumi. Butler's going to do his drive-through straight away. And it's Lumi leads from Liam with Aeon Blades in P3. And now we settle down and wait to see if the drama does unfold. Butler coming out in P18 there, so he's still ahead of Hugs, not dead last after suffering that drive-through penalty. We've got a McLaren, it appears. Is that Spidey? Spider's lost his front wings by the looks of it. And Butler goes through, and Gat goes through there. And yeah, Spider seems to have made a bit of contact with something, and he's lost his front wing, so that's going to have to be a pit. Hugs going very slow at the back there. Maybe it's just being overly cautious. It would appear as Ilumi now over a second ahead of Liam, who's got Aeon Blades all over the back of him here. The DRS is going to be enabled as soon as Ilumi crosses the start-finish line. This time, 2.3 seconds. He's putting his foot down, the hammer down early on here. DRS enabled. Race control, DRS is enabled. As I suspected, Gat into the pits as well. Gat, Spider, both into the pits. Whether Gat made contact trying to get past Spider, or whether that was the incident that cost Spider that front wing, who knows. As we see Liam leading from Ant here. It's very tight, but of course the overtaking place is so few and far between on this track. And Oliver coming up to the back of this little melee as well, and Ilumi over 3 seconds ahead now, so really putting the foot down nice and early here, getting that lead built up. Of course, we are always one incident away from a safety car, which will negate that. But the DRS train starts now and opens up the DRS. Can he get closer to Liam on turn one here? Always grinding into the pits. Pinto into the pits. Mr. I stick on hard to the end. He's already into the pits. So whether he's had damage as well, we will see. But we're going to stick on board with this race that we've got going on for P2 at the minute. Spider's got a corner cooking penalty. I think that was at the swimming pool section, looking at the map there. So things going bad to worse for Spider as lap 4 gets underway here, and already Ilumi over 4 seconds advantage. Pinto gets the corner cutting penalty as well, unfortunately. And that's 3 seconds onto him. As Liam just pulling out a bit of a gap this time round. He's got it up to 6/10, but Ant much quicker through this section, it appears. Always comes back towards the end of the lap. Down to 4/10 here, but again, no room to overtake till he gets that start-finish straight. And again, it's such a small start-finish straight to what we're used to. But he is closer this time, gets the DRS open nice and early. Is he going to make a move this time into turn 1? He's a lot closer. Where's he going to go? He's going to go try and do the cut back up the hill here. Good traction out, but Liam has got a good traction out the corner there, and I think he is going to maintain up the hill here. Just dropping Oliver a bit on that final section as well, these two. But Ant and Liam, good friends off the track. And are they going to remain good friends on the track? As he thought about sending one at the inside there, thought better of it, and it's allowed Oliver to pull. Seems that in sector 1, Oliver pulls up to the back of these, and then Ant manages to catch Liam as Liam pulls away in sector 1, and then Aeon Blades, sector 3, manages to pull it back in. But at the minute, Ilumi in a world of his own. Gap puts the fastest lap in on those fresh softs. But all the racing at the minute for this P2. Shout out Jay now up into P11 on those soft tyres after taking the decision to start the back. And I just wonder, the lack of any incidents so far, if we were, and I know a long way to go here, and I'm being very optimistic, if we were to have a safety car less race around Monaco, how many people would be struggling for fuel at the end? Because I know people do kind of rely on safety car to get that fuel load down, and maybe, just maybe, some people under fueling, hoping there's going to be multiple safety cars, all of a sudden be thinking, at the minute, I may not have enough fuel to finish this race. But we'll see. Let's see what we've got going on down the pack here. Slade coming up to the back of Texaco. Those soft tyres against those medium tyres. And they're pulling up to the back of Chrissy as well. But again, Slade overtaking so difficult around this. Just it like in real life. But we will keep on. It's always grinding Casper. And that's Casper going out the pits. That's why he's got past that one. And Casper onto those hard tyres. Gap making moves here now. Coming up the hill right on the back of Josh Wilco. Is he going to go round the outside? He's had to back off a little bit. But Gat showing that incredible pace he always does. If he could just put those races together, he would be a multiple-time winner in the Red Hours Racing League. We all think it. He just hasn't managed to stay consistent for an entire race. Few unlucky incidents as Slay picks up a penalty there for multiple warnings. I'm just thinking now, looking, is Casper thinking of being brave and going to the end? As Slay comes in, and he's going to slap some hard tyres on, I suspect. Yes, let's see what happens there as we jump back to the front. Over 8 seconds the difference now. So Aeon Blades and Oliver, as they're thinking of winning this race, being held up by Liam at the minute. And this just shows how important track position is as we have a yellow flag in sector 2. It's already gone though, so not a problem there. We're not going to have any DNFs, which at the minute we still have all 19 drivers running, which for Monaco I have to give a nod of the hat here as we are getting towards the end of lap 7. Let's just go on board with our race leader and give him a bit of credit that he deserves here, and let's jump on board for a lap with Ilumi as he leads by nearly 9 seconds at the minute. the yellow flag there. I think that may be back marker letting people through by the looks of it. Sorry to interrupt this lap. I was hoping to remain silent and let you get the full beauty of this man in action here. Hugs is out. Now what is that? Is that going to be safety car? Let's jump through here and see what's happened here. We can see it appears to be on the exit of the second hairpin. So everyone watch out coming around these corners here, because I think Hugs is sat around this corner. There's the Red Bull that's retired. It's just yellow flags at the minute. And we're back racing, so no safety car. But we do have our first retiree from this race, and it's, of course, Hugs for drugs. An impressive 8 laps by himself, though, Mr. One Lap, especially. But at the minute, it's one man's show to lose. 12.5 seconds now, the gap. Aeon Blades and Oliver cannot get past Liam. And Oliver has picked up a time penalty as well while we were watching the race leader. And we're just showing how difficult it is. Even if you're quicker than the car in front, Pinto speeding in the pit lane there. I wonder if he's going back on to his hard tyres till the end of the race. And we saw, was that Ant? Ant carrying on there, missed the braking zone. Didn't pick up a penalty for it, but stayed in front of Oliver there. It's giving Liam a little bit of breathing room of half a second towards the end of this lap. But Ant, again, so much quicker through these final few corners, it appears. Carly with 3-second penalties. So penalties starting to rack up a bit. People probably cutting turn 1. Swimple. Oh, Liam's hit the wall there. Liam made contact with the wall there. Now, has he done damage? He's gone very wide there. He's left the door open for Ant. Ant's going to try and send it around the outside here. Makes contact with the back of Liam there. Liam's going slow. Liam's definitely done some damage to that car. That Aston Martin has lost performance through that section. And now opening the battery up. He's trying to get here. He sent some blood in the water. Sector 1, we've lost Spider. Now, is that going to be a safety car? Nothing yet. Is Liam going to have to dive into the pits here, though? Has he done significant damage to that front wing? What does he do here? He does dive into the pits. Aeon Blaze takes over P2. Oliver P3. Texago's caught up to this little pack as well now. Calgano just behind him as well. So Liam does change that front wing, and it shows how easy it is to make a mistake around here. Touch a wall. Race strategy all of a sudden changed. So, Ant, 17, nearly 18 seconds behind now. Can he start to chip away at that P1 time? So Liam switched to the hard tyres now, so he will more than likely be going to the end on them. He's come out in P10. Got a bit of clean air before he catches up to the back of Gat, who's on those soft tyres. And Ant straight away into the pits here. Possibly worried about an undercut. Not taking air. Oh, he's got front wing damage as well. So now Oliver, the next in line to be released into P2. And Texago takes over P3 now. Now, does Ant come out in front of Liam? That is the question. Here comes Liam. It's going to be close. Liam comfortably ahead of him. And Aeon Blades had the chance to solidify that P2. Didn't get it done. And now has to try and cruise up to the back of Liam and try and get past him, just as their first stint did. But let's see if Texaco and Oliver can open up enough gap to try and get ahead of them. Again, the trouble here, back markers all over the place as well now. Luckily, they seem to be sensible enough to be getting out of the way at present. Oliver now into the pits. Is he worried about the undercut? Butler's got a speed in the pit lane penalty. Chrissy picks up a penalty. Super Calgon takes over P3 now as Texaco goes P2, but 21 seconds behind the race leader. He's pulling out and extending that lead every single lap. And at the minute, it seems to be one man's race to lose. So Oliver has come out ahead of Liam though. So he has made the jump, but he does have that penalty at the moment. But he is currently just under 2 seconds ahead as he tries to get temperature in some tyres as Liam cruises up to the back of him. But they are going to be held up by cars in front that have been slower in this race. I was grinding back up to P5 now. Jay has pitted. He's back down to P14. So his strategy at the minute not working. Lack of safety cars. And again, starting to see on some cars that fuel symbol as going red. They would have underfueled, expecting safety cars, I imagine. And nothing thus far. Always grinding comes into the pits now. And he's going to come back out in P11, I think. No. Callie and Guy are going to pass him, so it's going to be P13. So, a bit of a DRS train here, led by Lanod. As Super Calgon dives into the pits, probably trying to take advantage of this, because these will be being held up, so maybe he's thinking he can cruise up to the back of these, as he switches onto the hard tyres here. And we see who's that. Slay goes into pits. Maybe some damage there. I don't suspect after 8. Yep, that front wing damage there. So Lanod 41 seconds behind our race leader at the minute. But Liam now cruising up to the back of him. Lanod not pitted yet. Liam technically in that P2 again. As Oliver and Ant all over the back of them, as has been the case for most of the race. Liam being held up now by Lanod on those old medium tyres. Can't only be a matter of time before Lanod dives into the pits here. But all the while, just giving Ilumi the space. He can pit twice at the minute and still come out in P1. Lanod there goes very deep. Liam manages to avoid the contact. Oliver and Ant all over the back of all of them as well. Lanod's tyres absolutely gone here now as we've got a yellow flag. Lanod's in the wall there. Lanod, is that DNF? I think he went to go in the pits, missed the pit entrance. He's managed to retain it and get it going and get into the pits. But massive moment there. As Liam now back into P2. Oliver P3. Aeon Blades P4. And then Texago just cruising to the back of these now. Gat's back in contention. He's back in P5 now on those fresh mediums. And Calgon a few further back there. Jay is the one not going to plan at the minute in a little world of his own here. Is he going to get out ahead of Lanod? I believe he is. Yep. So Jay up into P11 now, but needs some points on the board at the minute. His closest rival running P4. And Ilumi finally does his pit stop all on his own and comes out. And still a huge lead here as we get towards half race distance. Pinto with another penalty. All gone wrong for the Ferrari driver at the minute as we see this 5-car battle for the podium places. Led by Liam, and it just shows how hard overtaking it, because Liam is not the fastest of these drivers today. But he leads them on the track at the minute. But this is where people like Jay, only sort of at 20 seconds behind this pack, if he puts in some good laps, can easily catch up to the back of this. And then all it takes is a few cars making mistakes, and all of a sudden people are making extra pit stops, and the order will soon change. As they're cruising up to the back of Josh E. Wilco, it would appear. So he will be the next one to get out of the way of this 5-car train. That separates P2 down to P6 at the minute. Liam leads in P2, sorry. Ilumi is in a world of his own, but this little battle going on, Liam leads in P2. Oliver P3 and Texago's gone to the pits here. Is this a front wing change? It is. Bit of a moment for Texago there on that. And we've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. Texago's out. He was in the pits there. Not sure why that is a DNF there, unless he's just retired. He's retired in the pit lane, so it won't be. Liam's picked up a penalty now. Let's see what he's got. I assume it's 3 seconds. Yeah. So all of a sudden, Aeon Blades will be sitting quite comfortably in that P4, thinking this is P2 at the minute. We've got a car in Sector 1. That's Slay. He's lost the front wing. A bit of a moment there. So now this 5-car race is now a 4-car race for P2. Butler with a time penalty. It's all gone wrong for Butler today as well. He's down there in P16. Liam, 7/10 ahead of Oliver, who's half a second. Sector 2. We've got a hash there. That's Chrissy with it here. And that one could be bad. Let's see if we can just see there. Lumi's managed to avoid it. No safety car. Chrissy's car has been moved. And it's back racing again. No safety car required there. But Chrissy becomes our 4th retiree in this Monaco race. Just see how tight it is, how close all these cars are running. And Lumi, I think that was his wing I just saw there. It was. Lumi's having to pit. Now this is gone onto the softs. Now 19 laps on the softs are not easy, but this is bringing the race back into contention because Liam and co are going to leapfrog here, and Lumi is down in P5. Wow. We said anything could change in Monaco in a heartbeat, and we've been proven right. Lumi is now P5. 2 pit stops in 2 laps there. His scheduled one, and then having to jump onto the softs because of a front wing damage. And all of a sudden, Liam leads this race. And we've seen how difficult Liam has been to pass on this. So, Aeon Blades, all of a sudden, he's passed Oliver. He's got past Oliver here. And Gat's looking to go past Oliver into the swimming pool section. And collision! Massive, massive collision there. Lumi manages to get past. Gat gets a penalty for corner cutting. He's lost his front wing. Has Aeon got damaged as well? Oliver's lost his front wing. Gat's lost his front wing. Lumi's back up into P2 now. Liam's over a second and a half ahead. Ant's managed to avoid damage by the looks of it. He's P3 now. Calgon manages to jump up into P4 as Oliver and Gat. Be interesting to see who made contact with who there. I suspect there'll be a ticket being lodged for the shoes to look at after that. Camera just seemed to cut away at the end. Butler's now DNF'd. As Liam and Lumi get past. Liam's had a moment there. Poor exit, and Lumi's going to fly past here, it looks like. Right up to the back of him. Slay sets the fastest lap. Liam's going defence from the inside. Oh, it's so tight for the break-in. They do make contact, I believe, there. The hard tyres with the fresh soft tyres showing how much more grip Lumi has at this stage of the race. DRS open down the main straight. Is Lumi going to make a move going into turn 1 here? Lap 23 starts. Oh, contact with the back of the car there. Loomis keeps it though. Keeps it going. Keeps it straight. And contact wheel to wheel. Absolutely neck and neck. Let's go on board here. As Liam goes inside. Lumi's going to have the inside on the next corner. And Lumi gets through. Lots of bumps and grinds there, it would appear. Not the cleanest of overtakes, not the cleanest of racing by both men through turn 1. But they both seem to have got away without any damage. Just shows how narrow this track is. And Ant will try and drift up to the back of Liam now, because he does have those penalties. Lumi has a 5-second penalty. Whether he just cut past the swim pool there, possibly. But the guy who's been fastest, he was 40 seconds ahead at one point, is now back in P1 on those soft tyres. But can he take those soft tyres another 16 laps? Pinto, there he goes from bad to worse as he has another penalty. Let's jump down here. Lano's got Oliver all over the back and going to swim pool section. Oh, and now that's the moment Lano's gone. Let's see if we can see his car here. Watch out if you're going through this section, because there is the car. Whoa, Casper just manages to miss him. Hopefully Callie picks up the sale. I think the car's been moved now. It has. No safety car needed. But Lanod is also out of this race. As Ilumi is pulled out a 3-second lead now on those soft tyres. Whether he's just trying to get that 20-second lead up again and then stick on some more softs, who knows? We will find out. Jay has snuck it into P7 now. I did say he could, with some good laps, just pull up to the back, possibly, of some other drivers. But he's got Oliver all over the back of him now on those fresh softs. We've got a yellow flag in Sector 3. It's like Joshy Wilco that seems to have DNF'd now. I think it is a pit lane retiree, so that one isn't going to cause a safety car. But fresh softs, the old mediums, is giving Jay a bit of a headache here now. DRS is open for Oliver. But Jay has got a fantastic exit and keeps it going. And then those fresh tyres coming good through the hairpin section as he pulls in. That lead in Sector 1 that Jay built up, completely gone again. And Slay on soft tyres as well, pulling up to the back of these two, scrapping. As Ilumi now 5.5 seconds ahead of Liam at the front of the grid. Jay's letting these both go here. Maybe thinking not worth it on these tyres. Let them wear their softs out. Maybe he doesn't believe they can go to the end of the race on those softs. But Jay, we know, doesn't get involved in the squabbles and just playing it safe here. P9 at the minute. But his championship rival currently P3. But with the time penalties, currently running P2. As he pulls up to the back of Liam again and gets within that 1 second. It's been like this most of the race between Liam and Aeon Blades. And Cal got a further 8 seconds back now. But as we get down here now, I think some of these may be panicking about fuel. No safety cars. And as you can see, quite a few of these cars have red fuel tanks, which means they underfueled, expecting safety cars. Interesting, Liam hasn't. So 7.5 seconds the gap now as Liam comes into the pool section. Pulled out a little bit of time in that last lap from Aeon Blades. Gap hovering around that 1 second. Both on similar hard tyres, both had to pit a lap apart, both taking front wing damage at the end of their first stints. Aeon Blades finally got free of Liam, put the foot down, only lasted a lap ahead of him, then had to replace his wing and got undercut by Liam. They've had Always Grinding and Sagat and Oliver in this little party as well, but it appears that both of them now, with all three of the others with damage, etc., drop back off different strategies, and it's Liam, P2, nearly 8 seconds behind now. But Lumi, can he make those softs last? Callie with a 3-second time penalty there. I wonder if Jay's had a bit of a moment there. He's lost a lot of time. I know he let the soft runners go, but 10 seconds he's lost in that last lap. He's had a bit of a moment down there in P9 on his own. Just enjoying his own little world. We've got a yellow flag set. That's Pinto gone. That is Pinto gone. Let's see. His race leader comes through. There's the Ferrari. No safety car. No VSC. Now, has everyone got through without collecting a Ferrari? The car's been moved and we're back racing again. No safety car again. And we enter the final 10 laps here. And again, that fuel, I think, is going to come into play here. No safety cars. Is that hit the wall there? Aeon Blaze may have hit the wall there. Seems to have a moment behind Liam. Let's keep an eye on this. But that Pinto DNF kind of rounds off a bit of a miserable day. He's staying out, so even no damage. Lumi's in. Those softs not lasting. He's taking his penalty. And then he will be putting a fresh pair of softs on. So Lumi's coming for a 9-lap charge here. Calgon goes through into P3. Grinding goes into P4. Liam takes over provisional lead of the race here. Aeon Blades only a second behind with no penalties, and at the minute Liam has those 3 seconds. So at the minute we have Aeon Blades picking up a back-to-back victory, but watch out for Ilumi. He's been the fastest man on the track all day, and he's now got 9 laps to hunt down the 4 cars in front of him and take back this race win on these fresh soft tyres. Didn't think they'd last, but I think that penalty meant he had to come in a bit earlier than he planned, or whether he did plan to at all. But first up for him is Always Grinding. I don't think Aeon Blaze is looking to get past Liam at the minute, because he's sitting in those 3 seconds. That's all he needs. That may change, though, if this Haas hunts them both down. We shall see. Shows takes no prisoners when he got past Liam the first time round. Let's see how he passes people this time round, because we haven't seen him overtake most people, because he's led from pretty much the start of the race. Let's see, already pulling up to the back of Always Grinding here. But again, he is one of those that seems to have underfueled, so we will see. Oliver into the pits. Gat sets the fastest lap. He's in P6 now. On those fresh softs. So Gat making a mad dash for the end, but he is some 20 seconds behind the next car in front. As Jay comes through now, is he going to get ahead of Oliver? He is, but is he going to challenge him? That is the question. Is he going to fight someone on those fresh softs? I don't think so. He's not ahead of him anyway. Lumi past always grinding into the swimming pool. Gats picks up a 3-second penalty, flying a bit too much there. Lumi makes contact with the barrier there, gets away with it just about. Pulls up to the back of Calgon now. Calgon on those old hard tyres is going to be considerable slide. That's not the place to send it. Lumi thinks better of it. Makes contact there with the back of the car though. DRS open down the main straight. Is he going to make a move on Calgon? Calgon's going to go defensive on the inside here. Got a yellow flag further up. I think it may be just Cali going slow, letting the cars through. But the more time, Lumi's stuck behind the McLaren of Calgon. The more time he sends it up the inside there. Gets the job done. Late on the brakes, using that extra grip. Calgon tries to come back from him, but he's going to have no grip compared to Lumi on those softs. And Calgon's actually picked up a penalty and trying to defend and come back at him there. And Lumi up into P3. 8.5 seconds behind Ant. Race on towards the end of this Monaco Grand Prix. Seven seconds. And Liam and Ant in a bit of traffic here, going through some back markers. Manages to get through nice and clean, but it's cost him a bit of time. 6 seconds now. Liam just opened a bit of a gap for Aeon Blades here. Aeon needs to be careful with this. I know he's in the 3 seconds of the penalty, but just not to lose Liam too much. He's lost the DRS now. Those back markers giving him a bit of a break. And Lumi flying less than 5 seconds behind him now. He's got that little bit of traffic to get through. But every corner closing the gap on the front two. I think it's Casper and Cali actually scrapping for battles here while letting cars through. And Casper has got ahead of Cali for that last points position. So maybe not wanting to let Ilumi through straight away here. Because they're battling for position, both on fresh soft tyres. Actually keeping up with Aeon Blades quite well there. Him and Liam on 22 and 23 lap old hard tyres. Lumi pulling up to the back of them now. He's going to be right on the back of Ant as soon as he's at the back of these two as well. It's the case of here that Ant is actually holding up these guys who are 10th and 11th. Oh, but Cali made a bit of contact with the barrier there. Has he got away with it? Or has he got damage? You see the car of Ilumi coming up behind him here. Is Cali going to have to dive into the pits here? He is. So that frees Ilumi on one of the cars he needs to get past of the back markers. And that also will allow Casper a bit of freedom to let him pass cleanly. Cal got into the pits. It's a front wing change for Calgon there, which gives Gap P4 now, P5, grinding up into P4. Lumi, P3 now, and can see the back of that Mercedes. He's got to get past the Aston, who's a back marker. But then he can see that Mercedes-Benz of Aeon Blades in P2 at the minute. Casper lets him pass. 4 laps to go, and it's game on now. No cars stand between Lumi and the front 2. Fresh sauce versus old hards. It's catching him is one thing, overtaking on Monaco is another thing. We're about to see what happens here, what unfolds. If you're just joining now, ladies and gentlemen, you're joining into the business end of here, because also we're going to have cars that have underfueled that are going to be struggling. No safety cars so far. Looks like Lumi's kind of coasted a little bit though. DRS is open here. Aeon goes defensive on the inside. Lumi right at the back of him, gets the traction out of the corner. Is he going to try and get him up the hill? No is the question. One sector survived. It's just got to be that now for Aeon Blades. Survive sector by sector. But the more time he's gone defensive, the more time it's going to give Liam to try and build up that 3-second lead to get ahead of Aeon Blades, who's not got a penalty compared to Liam, who has. Lumi had a penalty. He served it. Did he make contact with the barrier on the way out there? See how much later he can be on the brakes into the swimming pool to get closer enough to Aeon. Lumi's got a 3-second time penalty. Corner cut in there. That changes the game. Now he's got to get going, because he's got to get past Aeon Blades. He's got to pull out 3 seconds, because at the minute he's made contact with the barrier again. And again! Surely that's wing damage that time. Tries to go around the outside. Aeon Blaze shuts the door on him there. He's staying out. I wonder what performance that does. There's a Lumi thrown away a victory here with his own mistake. And pulling out the time on him now. He's over a second ahead of him. Is iLumi settling for a P3 here now? And Ant getting his head down now, trying to close that gap to Liam, making sure he's within those 3 seconds. Gat's got past grinding. Gat up into P4. Ant is dropping iLumi now. Got a yellow flag with a McLaren around there. Think Jay maybe just letting... No, sorry, Oliver maybe just letting people through. Maybe a bit damaged there. We're back racing though. Liam on to the penultimate lap. That's Oliver DNF'd. Oliver DNF'd there. Liam 1.8 ahead of Ant on the penultimate lap, who's a second ahead of iLumi. Gat's lost his front wing by the looks of it, grinding back up into P4. Gat's just going to stay out and stick it out here, I think. Liam getting his foot down now. He's trying to build up that 3 seconds. iLumi, I think, is settling for a P3 here because he can't get ahead and build up the 3 seconds. Maybe his soft tyres just coming towards the end of their life as well. And I think he got damaged from touching that wall. So settling for a P3. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1. But and Aeon Blaze just holding on to Liam here. If he sticks where he is now, that is a win for him here. Back-to-back victories after the Abu Dhabi was postponed till later in the season. And the Miami one being the last race where he played his wild card, got the win. And Jay down in P8 means Aeon is going to take a bit of a hold on this championship at this stage. We've got lots of yellow flags flying here as Liam starts his final lap. 2.1 seconds. Can he get 9/10 in this last lap and take the win? Doesn't need traffic on this last lap, but that's exactly what he's getting here. I think that's Jay. It is. It's Jay that's holding him up. Gets out of the way. Is he now going to hold Ant up, though? Let's and go. 2.2 the gap. Lumi's back 5 seconds now. Lumi's given up on the win here, which seemed to be dead set to be his when he was 40 seconds ahead. No safety cars. Maybe the fuel's actually coming into place here. Maybe that's why Lumi's lost the power. I think that's why and Aeon's lost the power as well here. Liam, also lack of fuel. This can be so close whether he's going to actually have enough here. 4 tenths he needs to find in this last sector. He's had a bit of a moment coming out there. Wide there. Can he keep it straight? Foot down. 3.3 seconds. Liam's going to win this. Ant's run out of fuel. Liam wins it with the penalty. Still half a second ahead of Aeon Blades. Lumi comes through to take P3. Always grinding, seems to have it sewn up for P4 because Gat seems to have that front wing gone. Wow. What an end to the race. Always grinding P4. Gat P5. Calgon is going to come back in P6 with Slay P7. Casper a lap down in P8, it's already got it. Jay in P9, Cali P10. 10 finishers, do they all get points? And I think the fuel came into play at the end there for quite a few drivers. There was lots of flashing red fuel towards the end there, and I think that's what. But wow. Just as always, Monaco delivers. Gat gets driver of the day here. But it is Liam turned his retirement decision around, and what a decision it was. Aeon Blades P2 there, I think ran out of fuel, and I think Ilumi as well, which is why he dropped off and had damage after that change onto that second set of softs. Rounding off the podium on his debut in the Haas was definitely the quickest man, but there Gat with a 1:10.9, the fastest lap by a country mile. He finishes P5. But the championship, a big leap in points for Aeon Blades there ahead of Jay finishing P9. Wow, what a race, ladies and gentlemen. Going to leave it there because that is a long, long race. So we hope you enjoyed us. Join us again for next Monday for the next round of Red Arrows Racing League, which I'm going to tell you right now takes place. If people get off my Discord so I can take a look. Where are we now? It will be Japan with a sprint race next week. And of course, Abu Dhabi postponed with a sprint race till the last race of the season. So, on to round 8 next week in Japan with a sprint. Hope you enjoyed it, ladies and gentlemen. Drop a like, drop a follow to the channel if you did, and join us next Monday for more Red Arrows Racing League. But it's goodbye from me and goodbye from the drivers. Till next time.